Welcome to This Week in Weiss Schwarz, where we talk about Weiss Schwarz' news and cards of the day. Real quick, happy birthday to me. Okay, off to the news. We have a new series coming to Weiss Schwarz, Your Lie in April. Wait. In Weiss news, we are getting Your Lie in April. Yep, that's an April Fool's joke. It's not like I wanted it anyways, you fucking assholes. Deja vu. If you can't tell, it was an April Fool's joke. They actually did that last year, so if they do that again next year, I'm gonna give them a really strong tweet. Now, you know what? Actually, what if they do it again next year, but they actually give it to us? We were the real fools. We have some promo art for Adventure Time. Here's what the mat is going to look like that is going to be included in the cases. Here's the booster box and the trial deck art. Now in the trial deck, it states that you could get both John DiMaggio and Jeremy Shada as signed cards, who are Jake and Finn in the cartoon. Looking at the cover art, it has both Jake and Finn, so I'm going to assume that it's both signatures on one card, which it's okay, they've done that before. And now the booster box information, it is a 100 card set, 4 PR booster box toppers, and 2 signed cards, just 2? And it's going to be Jeremy and John. That's it. No Tom Kenny. No Olivia Olsen, Justin Roiland, fucking Maria Bamford. So you're telling me I can't get these people's signatures on my cards? Like, dude, Maria Bamford. I mean, if I go to Icon and I meet them, I guess I could have them sign my card like I did with Subaru's voice actor, Sean Chiplock. Come on, give me more signed cards. Just 2? Okay. I really wanted a Hot Dog Princess signed card. Side note, Maria Bamford is one of my favorite stand-up comedians, and I would fucking pay a lot of money for her signature. I mean, I think the reason that they didn't give us that many signed cards in Adventure Time is because it's not really that kind of culture in America to get autographs the same way that the Japanese get autographs for their voice actors. Like, yeah, we love our voice actors here in America, but it's kind of different in Japan. At least that's what I think. Maria Bamford should get a signed card though. Now the last bit of news, it's a bit confusing, but in the international version of the Key 20th Anniversary set, there are going to be 7 super rare cards, the SRs, whose art is going to be changed. The reason for this change is so that they could fit into the international market. At least that's the reason that they gave. The 7 cards are not going to have alternative art. They're going to keep their regular art. They're just going to be foiled out. Again, this is only for cards that are going to be in sale outside of Japan, or at least the set that's going to be sale outside of Japan. You can tell if your box is going to be sold outside of Japan specifically by, there's going to be a little marker, a little indicator that says for sale outside of Japan only. So far, we only know of this card that was actually used in the sample, which is actually a clean cut, by the way, but besides the point, and this Akande. Again, only international sellers will be getting these boxes with the censored art. Kind of like how JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the JP, was not going to send it out to international sellers. It's odd, and I hate it, but it's understandable. And with that, let's go to the cards, starting with the only support Aqua, who is pay 1, rest, searching, brainstorm, and when your character trigger checks a climax, you can give a character 1k. Won't be needing that. Acting like a goddess once in a while, Aqua gives 500 forward, and she is a pop encore. Wow, you know what? Every set recently has been getting pop encores, and I'm gonna need this for my Aqua waifu deck. You know, after I finish the darkness deck, I'll actually make a darkness deck this time. Also, fuck, I wish I was Kazuma. Ugh. Speaking of Kazuma, we have S rank luck Kazuma at the start of your opponent's attack phase. You can pay 1 and you can move this card to an empty slot in your back row. And climax combo, when you play thumbs up and this card is in your front row, you can top deck clock and top check 2. Play up to 2 cost 0 characters that you revealed onto the stage and you mill the rest. The climax is a 1k1 and a choice when triggered. Wow, this card is pretty funny. So you play the choice climax, hopefully you hit 2 cost 0 characters and you could throw them onto the stage. And if your back row is open, you could pay 1, you could have this run straight to the back. And if you draw the climax, just do it all over again. Do we have enough cards for a Kazuma Husbando deck? I think we do. Don't fucking tempt me, I'll do it. Here's Bold Lies Kazuma, who is a level 0 stock bomb and a drop salvage. I really do think we have enough cards for a Kazuma deck. Here's another one. To the Crimson Demon Kazuma states that if you are level 2 or higher, this card gains the following ability. Pop this card and play To the Crimson Demon Village Darkness from your hand to where this card was. And he has a bond with that darkness. And that darkness is a vanilla. Oh my god, I love Konosuba so much. I really need to update my darkness deck, like, for sure. This time with an actual deck, like I mentioned before. So it's a level 2 with 12k power, no soul, and no trigger that is super easy to bring out. This is pretty good. Okay, like, honestly, video's over. There's nothing that can top this. This is all I need. We'll see you later. No, you can tell by the runtime, there's a lot. So the Kazuma can easily get this card to your hand. All you have to do is ditch and you could get the darkness. And since you're playing it, you could just get rid of it and play that darkness straight up. Setup is super easy, as well as the cost. Like, it's pretty cheap. Like, honestly, you're not going to be paying 2. And when I mean cheap, I meant cost-wise and probably price-wise, because both of these are commons. Kazuma Darkness ship deck? Maybe, one day, just not now. Support Magic Aqua is a 2k5 backup, and when you use this card's backup, you can ditch a card, top check your deck, and keep it or mill it. You can use this effect as many times as you want. You can top check your deck as long as you have cards to ditch in your hand. Like, you could effectively ditch your entire hand in an attempt to cancel damage. You could also load up your waiting room with cards that you might want to get rid of, like, let's say, like this climax for this climax combo, which we'll get to this card. So again, just, you can load up your waiting room, you can filter your hand, and just, you know, try to cancel some damage. Granted, let's say this. If you get rid of your whole hand and you still take damage. RIP. Yes, today's Explosion Magic Megumin has 2 climax combo markers. If you do not know, any effect that interacts with a specific climax is considered a climax combo. Anyways, on play, salvage 1 explosion per day, and this card gains 1k power for the turn and climax combo. At the start of your attack phase, if this card is in stand and in your front row, you send your entire hand and your entire stock to the waiting room and you pop the climax, which is 1 explosion per day. If 8 or more cards were sent to the waiting room with this effect, you send all your opponent's level 3 or lower characters to the waiting room. Your opponent mills their whole deck. Burn for however many copies of this 3/2 Megumin in your level area and you rest this card. Wow, talk about explosion. Yo, play that clip. EXPLOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOoooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooo The climax. Let's start with the climax. The climax is a red stock soul, so you are going to get an extra card from your waiting room to your stock. That way you can make it to that clause, which is 8 or more cards sent to the waiting room. When you play it, you could get the climax straight into your hand if you don't have it. Now, it is going to be late game, so you're going to have to work to get that climax into the waiting room or into your hand. But it's easily doable. So you have to ditch your entire hand and your entire stock. It's not up to 8, you have to get rid of everything. And then you send everything in your opponent's field to the waiting room. This does bypass any card that has hexproof. And the order that is listed does matter. You send everything to their waiting room first, then you mill their whole deck, then they take refresh damage, and then you burn for the experience that you have. And then this card is rested. And then you can continue with your attacks from the other 2 characters that you have. You better have 2 other characters. Now here's the thing, you are giving them a free deck refresh, but you are guaranteed 1 non-cancelable damage. Again, you're getting rid of your whole stock and your whole hand, but that 1 non-cancelable damage is pretty damn good. So I thought the current explosion combo that we had was very in theme with the character, but this is a real explosion. Play me that clip again. Before we go into Shin Sakura Wars, did you know that Tita Kubo was actually doing the character art? I think this is the closest we will ever get to Bleach or Burn the Witch or Zombie Powder in Weiss, so you better get those wallets out. Now, I did cover a good amount of cards in the previous episodes because we were given them over on Twitter, but we are now being shown the cards daily as part of Card of the Day. So because of that, I am going to go quickly over some of the more notable cards. Imperial Theater's Mark of Liveliness Hatsuho states that Climax combo. At the start of your Encore step, if you have Shinonome Shrine's Mikagura Hammer in your Climax area, if you have 5 or less stock and there's no character in front of this card, you can salvage. The Climax is a standby and soul when triggered. That is honestly so many restrictions just to salvage a card. You are playing a standby which does not give you power, but you are getting ahead in board state because of the Climax. I am still going to run this card in my deck because it kind of reminds me of Rangiku. I have not played the game yet, but I'm getting strong vibes from this one. That or I've been quarantined for way too long. One of those two. Remember in this video over here where I talked about hopefully that there's a card that lets you level swap? Well, we got one. Performance Coaching Anastasia is a global 500 and rests 2 characters, and you could level swap from your waiting room and you give a character +1 level. Remember a couple of seconds ago when I reminded you about a video where I talked about hopefully that there's a card that level swaps? Well, just fucking cut out the middleman. Worried Anastasia is on play, mill 2, and if you mill the Climax, this card gets 3k. And also on play, you can activate the following effect in any order. Level swap the 3/2 Obu from your hand, and then you level swap a 3/2 Obu from your waiting room. So when you play this card, I would suggest activating the milling first, that way you have a shot at having the 3/2 Obu in your waiting room, and then you activate the switching. Why do you want to do this? Because of this Sakura card that I explained in the last video, so go ahead and check it out. Real quick, it is an experience effect that burns depending on how many level 3s are in your level zone. So these cards really do help. Over in Not Weiss news, this is a card. Someone sell me this right now. Also, Magic the Gathering is having collaboration cards with Godzilla. I'm gonna have to pick this up. So the newer set of Magic the Gathering, some cards are gonna have alternate art that are gonna feature characters from Godzilla. Here I go. I'm a Magic the Gathering player now. Also, Bushiroad just did upload a video on their official English channel talking about Bushiroad Remote Fight. So now that means that the English side of Bushiroad does give this its blessing. So go ahead, play online. I might even play a couple matches here and there, so find me on that Discord. Please don't try to grief me. I do have a couple decks that I am working on, so I'm going to be playing those. Maybe expect a video. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content. Follow me on Twitter for shitposts. Follow me on Coffee for a blog of the channel. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I see y'all in the next one.